Hello everyone and Shabbat Shalom. You know we are in very special period now, and then someone can say, hey, but what is so special in this period? When a person understands that he is living in a special time, so his life became to be special and different. But when there is a person that always looking in the life like always everything is normal and nothing is special, and when the time is going ahead, I always understand more and more how special is the time that we are in now. And with the time it became to be more and more. But for to feel this, that it became to be special and different, we need to get it to our life. How you gonna look at the life? This is how the life gonna be to you. If we will see that our life is not special and everything is normal and nothing new, this is how the life really be to us. But if I really can see and I really believe in this, that it's gonna be more and more, so this is how our life gonna be, and it's gonna be special and unbelievable. Everything is depends how you see this. So in the last 2 weeks I was talking with you about the spirit life, and I really wanted to continue to talk about this with you. But I am not the one who can choose this and decide. The Holy Spirit can only decide this for me, what to talk about today. So about what I'm gonna talk today with you is gonna be a little bit different, because I'm gonna talk about a little bit different subject with you today. God speaking with us, talking with us about relevant things that we need to hear today. I never can know before what God wants to tell us, because we only know this in the right time. And He knows how to surprise us always. And today the name of the subject gonna be Little Steps to the Big Fail. I would say always in the churches, you coming, and what they talking about? They like to tell you 12 steps to the big succeed. 10 steps how to succeed in the service to God. 15 steps how to succeed your financial life. But here is everything different. We're gonna talk about not how to succeed and to win. We're gonna talk about how not to lose, how not to fail. Because so many people living and doesn't know how do they came to this moment that they are in so fail. So we need to know how we can live until this lose or fail. It's good to talk about how to win, how to succeed. A person that already tasted the taste of the win. But so many people living today already in the big fail. And God told me show them how people coming to this situation. How working the tactics of our enemy, to make you not to serve God how you were supposed to serve Him. There is steps that taking you to win, and there is also a steps that taking you to fail, to lose. And today we're gonna try to understand how people can come to this situation. A person that was chosen by God and was born to serve God can find himself in the big lose and a big fail in his life. Listen to me, please. Really, I'm talking with you really serious today. If you have some parts in your life that God doesn't own them, so the enemy can take them so fast. These parts in your life in the beginning can be under attacked by the enemy, because the devil, the enemy, always trying to take these pieces from your life to himself. Because in our life, everyone has some parts in his life, and if in these parts God is not exist there, and you are not taking these parts of your life to God, it's very, very easy to the enemy to take them from you. And most of the times, the person giving this to the enemy to do with these parts whatever he wants. And today I want to show you what God showed me today. And let me show you this from the Bible now. Do you remember Samson from the Bible? who he was? He was a monk. He was chosen by God from when he was in the stomach of his mother, before he born. I gonna say in the short way the story of Simpson. It was one couple, young couple. The angel came to them and he told them that they gonna have a son, that he gonna be a monk. And the angel even told them exactly what he doesn't need to do, not to cut the hair, not to drink wine. And really after some time, the son is born. And he became to be a judge in Israel. He was the last one. Because he was chosen by God even before he born, so he had some power from God in him. So what it mean to be a monk? It's someone that dedicated to God. A monk is someone that devoted to God, especially for God. And he giving all his life and service God. When someone is a monk, most of the time he doing a testament by himself with God and telling to God that he gonna walk after him and to serve him all the life. He divided himself specially for God by promise. But here, Samson doesn't choose nothing. God chose him before he born. And how it's important that also Jesus telling to us, not you choose me, I choose you. And it's very important how we looking and doing with this, that God chose us for him. And I believe that the people who chosen by God, they really need to know how to treat right this choose. And with a serious. Because really not we choose God. God is the one who chose us. We are a people who divided by God. I can see in this the thing of monk. And I even think that the churches of the last time, the family of God, need to be like in a monk with God. But this is already another subject, it's not for today. So to be a monk is need to be a choice of everyone, if to do this or no. But in the beginning, to choose us was by God. No one of us just woke up one morning and said, that's it, I'm going after God, never mind what happened. God watching the heart, and he looking for people to be chosen by him, and then he choosing them. And every one of us was chosen by God. For some reason, for any plan of God. But the most important here, that he chose us. And then we need to know how to treat this choose. Because if it's not important for us and we don't care about this, if we will not treat this good, we're gonna disparage this thing. It's very gonna be easy for us to work for and to serve two sides. Because we will not appreciate the choice of God, and we will not think that it's something special for us. And we will not appreciate this. And when someone doesn't treat good the choice of God, it's very easy work for the enemy. And I see some people, some churches, that for the enemy they are very, very easy for them. Why the spirit of the enemy can do anything she wants in the churches or for these people. And this spirit can attack them so easy because these people doesn't appreciate the choosing of God that he did for them. And today we're gonna read about Samson that was chosen by God, and he knew about this, about his way of monk life, and he knew what he can do, what he cannot do, and how he treat this service, and what steps he did, steps that took him to one another side in the life. So first of all, I want to read the book in the Bible, in the Old Testament, Judges 14, sentence 16 to 17. Before we're gonna read, you remember that Samson was really in love and liked one girl from the Palestinian. Even his parents saying to him, hey, listen, what, you think we don't have enough women in our people, in the Israeli? Why you need a woman or a girl from another people? Why? And he's saying, no, give me this woman, I want her, I like her. Okay, this is what they did. They made a big party, 7 days. In this time in Israel, always the wedding was 7 days. After all, we are Israeli, we like to have fun and to party. So in this 7 days party that Samson did for this woman, for the wedding, he decided to give a riddle for the people. But the riddle was for the Philistines, the people of the wife, the people that the wife came from. So he asked them this riddle, that it's kind of question, a puzzle for them to decide what is the answer. So because the people of the Palestinian knew that they will not know what is the answer of the riddle, they told to the girl, the woman that was supposed to get married to Samson. And let's read what the woman did. So let's read this from 16 to 17. And Samson's wife wept before him and said, "Thou don't but hate me, and lovest me not. Thou hast put forth a riddle unto the children of my people, and wilt thou not tell it to me?" And he said unto her, "Behold, I have not told it to my father or my mother, and shall I tell them?" And she wept before him the 7 days, while their fast lasted, and it came to pass on the 7 days that he told her, because she pressed him sore. And she told the riddle to the children of the people. So look, Samson, how we always imagine Samson, always to the children in the little books that the people are writing and drawing Samson in the pictures. How he is there in the pictures? It's the one that always was winning. It's the hero. He's so strong. He's so big. And suddenly we see where his power. Here we just see how his wife, the woman, can broke him. And where is the power? If the person physical so strong from outside, but inside he is so weak, so no physical power will not help for this guy. She was crying to him only 7 days, and he already told her the riddle. So what it's worth? He told her all the secrets. But let's see what happened after in the continue of the story. At the end, he was so mad, and he left this party, and the father of this woman was thinking that Samson doesn't like anymore this woman, so he gave this woman to his friend of Samson to get married to him. And when Samson was more relaxed, he came back to the party, and the father was like, "Okay, I'm sorry." I think it was in sentence number 15. We can read about this. So the father saying, "Hey, I'm sorry. I thought that you don't like her anymore, so I gave her to another man to be married with him." And in the book Judge number 15, sentence number 3, we can see what Samson said to the father. Samson said, "And Samson said unto him, This time shall I be quit with the Philistines, when I do them a mischief." So it means that it was not enough that he just lost his wife. He lost his power near the eyes of the people around. Why it happened? Because people understand that he is weak inside, and not like he looks from outside so strong. That he has a very, very weak parts in his body, in his life. And it's easy just to bring one woman that she gonna cry a little bit, and he gonna be weak, so weak, and he gonna tell her everything and destroy his power from outside. Maybe it's not so fast, but even after 7 days, It was so easy for her. But at the end of the things, he gonna be weak, and he gonna tell her everything if she gonna cry a little bit to him. At the end, he was so mad. He was mad because she was not loyal to him. I think he had a lot of mix of feels inside him. And because of this, he wanted to do something for these people. But look what we can take from here. Listen, today I'm gonna tell you something a little bit different. I'm gonna take examples from this story to our life for you to understand what we can understand here in this story. For me, this woman, she's an example of the spirit of this world. The spirit of this world always looking for a weak part inside you, looking for a weak point inside you, and always looking to push you a little bit to make you give up. This spirit makes you decide things that you even was not thinking that you're gonna do. Look, we can see when she was crying to him, what she said to him. She said, "You hate me, you don't like me." She was pushing him in a weak point. Listen, when a person has some position and he chosen by God, always he gonna have attacked. The enemy will always send someone to make him to change his mind. And it will not always be a wife or a husband or something. It can be everyone that can come and to talk with you. And through him, the devil can talk to the heart and to push you, to try to make you to think different, to change your mind, to ask you for mercy. You understand what I mean? The spirit of this world, of the devil, always trying to take your place. And I believe that when the Palestinian saw that the woman, succeed to take the place or to take the secret of Samson, it took his position down, low. Because everyone saw what is his weak points. And I want us to take from here the first lesson, that when the spirit of this life trying to attack us, first of all, the enemy gonna try to take us position. First of all, you want to take your position down, lower, to find your weak points. And if he can find this, even a little bit, he gonna push there a lot and a lot, until you're gonna give up. I cannot say that Samson took from here a big lesson and learned something from this. After some time, he get another woman to his life. Let's read about this. It's Judges 16. So we're gonna read from sentence number 4. And it came to pass afterward that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. Then number 5. And the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and said her, and take him, and see where his great strength length, and by what means we may prevail against him, that we may bind him to afflict him, and we will give to you every one of 700 pieces of silver. So here I want to tell you again that Dalida, her name was Dalida, she is like a symbol of the spirit of this world, of the enemy. So first for you, for the enemy, it's easy to work with you when he gonna send to you someone or something. It can be also something, not a person, that you're gonna like this. And I always say that a person is belong to something that he love. Always. Never mind what, he belong to this, if he love this. And the one that he love has a control on this person and a power on him. It's enough for the person just to love, for to be loyal, or clothes to let to this Delilah to come to you closer. If you remember the first wife, he just liked her. He liked how she is. And through this he went down. He just was like her. But this one, Delilah, he was in love with her. Do you understand the difference between like and love? Here, everything is more serious. First, the spirit of this world trying to show you something that you will like. And then after you like something, it's easier to send to you something. It's gonna be easier to take you down. The spirit of this life gonna show you something that you're gonna love after. It's gonna be easier to her. And to offer you something that you're gonna love more. And this Delilah, before she had something to control him, he fell in love with her. And the things that you love, you're gonna give them to come closer to you. You offer them to come really close to your life and to control you. So then when we were reading about number 5, Delilah just makes him to love her more and more. So again, I'm talking about an example. It can be a wife, it can be a woman, it can be a man, it can be a game. Every sign, it can be any situation in the life that you love. And then because the devil know what you love, he trying to find your weak point and to take you down. Look what they said to Delilah here. They said to Delilah, try to find his weak point that we're gonna take him down. If you're choosing by God, you always need to know that the enemy will always looking for your points and where your power coming from. He will always try to take your service and to take your power. He will know or will look for things that you're gonna pay attention to them and not to God. He's gonna try to find the place that your power coming from and to give you something different to change this. You know that always the spirit of this world always looking for things to give you, to change for you things, that you will love more the things that the devil giving you, the enemy, more than the things that God gave you already before. Because if you're gonna love this more than what God gave you before, you will belong to the enemy and not to God. Samson forgot about his choosing, about his service. He forgot that he was a judge of Israel and a monk for God. And when he felt in love with Delilah, he forgot his head. He lost his goal. In the first point, he doesn't want to open his secrets to these people. And look what we're gonna see now, what Delilah did to Samson, and how she find his points of the power that he has. Look what way the enemy choosing to use against you to take your power. Sometimes we cannot understand how we came to this point. Wait, but I was so big before, I was so strong, I was with God so high, I was a big one, people was respect me because the power that I have from God. And where I am now? Hey, I had a big position before in the church for God, I was servicing. And suddenly we can see these guys like so low in one place in the world, just like so far from the place that he was before, with a broke life, broke plans. And we cannot understand what changed, what happened to this guy, what happened to this person that was so high position for God before, and we could see him so shining with God and so bright. How from this high to so low and down. And now look how clearly we can see this, the steps that Samson did from his chosen and high position to the down, to the lowest. And everything starts that the person start to love this world and this spirit of the world. And again I saying, it can be a woman in your life, Delilah. It can be a man. It can be anything. It can be a game, a situation. It can be a sign that you fell in love with to do. And through this love with these things, you can be attacked by your choosing by God, down and down. And then we can read number 6. So the leader said to Samson, "Please tell me where your great state lies, and with what you may be bound to afflict you." I can see here how rude is the enemy here, that he is so open to ask you these things. All of you know clearly that knows that the devil gonna attack you. There is no Christian that was not never attacked by the devil, the enemy, in his life. Because the enemy want to understand where your power coming from. He want to know how to shoot you so straight to take you down and to give you that you're gonna give up. The enemy doesn't try just to make you fail a little bit. It's trying to take you down, down, low, low. For him to take you down a little bit just to fail, it's nothing. It's trying to destroy you. Because if you're choosing by God, you are annoying him. And he gonna look for. He want to know how to destroy you until low that you will never come back to serve God. And this is why we need to be so careful with this. We always need to check that He's in your life. There is something that makes you love this more than God. Something that try to push himself to your life to make you believe in God less. And most of the time we see like, okay, it's so small step. It's something, it's nothing. It's just nothing. So I a little bit love this. It's fun to me. Maybe it can be a computer game. Hey, the teenagers here, can you hear me? We just like it a little bit. It's fun for us. And look what through this. I think a lot of people felt inside this already. How the enemy trying to work and to make you feel down. And was just a small example. But how many people that met a woman or a man and really felt in love? And how they lost them service? Because the love to the leader was more than the love to God. And here the enemy just trying to push himself more and more and look for all your weak points in your life. So when she was the leader was trying to open him, he was trying to tell her some things that like to go out from this conversation. And then it started to be like that he's saying her, do whatever you want, but I will not tell you. And she trying to do some things. We can read this here. So yes, we can read about this, but she was trying to tie him, and then it was around her, behind her, two people from the Palestinian, and they was waiting for him to give up. And because he was so strong, so he just was do some move with the body, and the tires of the things that she was tie him to the things he was just opening, and everyone was see that he has some unbelievable power from God or something that can makes him not to give up. But let's read what happened after this in sentence number 14. Not 14, sorry, we're gonna read from 15. Then she said to him, "How can you say I love you when your heart is not with me? You have mocked me these 3 times and have not told me where your great strength lies." So she was trying to know where his power coming from. And then let's read the number 16. And it came to pass when she pestered him daily with her words and pressed him, so that his soul was vexed to death, that he told her all his heart. And he said to her, "No razor has ever come upon my head, for I have been a Nazarite to God from my mother's womb. If I am shaving, then my strong will leave me, and shall become weak, and will be like the other men." Is it remind to you something? It's not remind to you the first wife that he had before? That was crying before him. I was saying and repeating always, hey, you don't love me anymore, you don't love me, tell me your secrets. Dalida did the same. But the difference is in the first time it was just a question, a ride. Here it's all the secrets of his power, where they are coming from. Something more heavy and serious. The spirit of this world was attacked his life and his goal in the life. Here the spirit of the life already of the world was already know that she want to know not only just a secret, she want to know more where is the power coming from. And you know what? Even here Samson fell. So weak personality. Because he opened everything in his mind. For who you gonna open your heart? For the one that you love. If you love the spirit of this world, even if you're gonna hold yourself with all the powers that you have, the spirit of this world will always try to open you. And in the end, he gonna open you and get you. He gonna find your weak point. And he gonna succeed to know where your power coming from. I can belong to the one that I love, and I can win only the one that I hate. The thing that I love, I cannot fight with this because I love this. And if you love the spirit of this world, you will not be able to fight with this and to be against this if you love this. We can fight against things that we doesn't like only. The things that we hate. A long time ago, I was praying to God and I asked Him, God, give me to love the things that you love and to hate the things that you hate. Because in my life I was having things that I was love. But I was understand that what I love, God hate. And I was supposed to do a choice. And I said, God, I cannot go against the things that I love alone by myself. Because I was love this. And then I asked God, give me to hate the things that you hate. Because I know that I love things that you hate. And things start to happen. The things that I was love before, suddenly I was hate them. And the things that I was not love before, I start to love. Do you understand what I'm talking about? How is scary. Some of the people looking at me sometimes and saying, hey, pastor, but we are in so modern time. How you can say this? Come on, everything is so easy now. It's different. The generation of the buttons. Just to press something and to get this. So easy. Just press this and you're gonna get this. So easy. Everything is so open and easy. And this world already doesn't know what to offer you to make you have fun and to enjoy. But you always need to know and to remember. Behind all of this, standing the spirit of the world. The spirit of this world. And this world is belong to the enemy. They're trying to make you feel good in this world and to make you to take you inside deep. And all of this technology and all of these fun things to you and the games doesn't makes you just to makes your life to be easy. A lot of things making for you to take you inside. And everyone thinking, oh, so cool, so fun, so easy, everything is so easy and comfortable. And the life gonna be easier and we're gonna go ahead and better. The nation gonna be comfortable for them to do all of these things. I'm gonna tell you that there is things that was created for you to take to a fail. No one computer game cannot be held to the person. But this is my point of view. You can think anything else. First of all, these games, it can be the most simple one. This game running after your time and taking your time. You don't know even how many lives of people going after the games of the computer. Because this time can be for God. To pray to God, you are addicted to these games and they taking you time. You cannot give this alone, you cannot move from this, you just sitting and playing in this game. She asked if there is in the church people that was in freedom from the game computer after God gave them free, set them free. There is people like this. For example, to Samson, it was so hard to get to him, to talk with him, because Dalida took all his life and was control him so much. He was always in her bedroom. Why exactly there? You know that the bedroom is things very intimate. It's a private place. It's a place to be close. And here we can see how close she was to him, Dalida. So this is how you open your life to this world. And this is why for this world, the spirit of this world, it's so easy to open you and to take you down, to destroy you. Then in 17 we can see that he opened for her all his heart. Like I said to you before, we open our heart to a place that we love, to a person that we love. And today a lot of people can be with open heart to spirit things in this world that belong to the enemy. Not everything that exists you need to open your heart and to give these things to control you. Because this is the next step to the big fail. Then in 18, we can see that Dalida already saw his power when it's coming from, because he said to her, and she called to the Palestinian people. She called them and they came with all the silver that they was promised to her before. This was 18, now we're reading 19. Then she lulled men and had him Then she lulled him to sleep on her knees and called for a man and had him shave off the 7 locks of his head. Then she began to torment him and his strength left him. So what happened to a person that choosing by God in the moment that Dalida, the spirit of this life, a word, understand your place of your power? What Dalida did? She make him sleep on her knees. I told you already before, we're gonna talk with the examples. So for a Christian, the chosen by God, this is what starts to happen. He starts to fall asleep. Dalida just put his head on her knees and makes him sleep on her knees. This is how the spirit of this world working. When a believer person or a church fell asleep, it means paralysis of the spirit, when she falling asleep and not working anymore. When we falling asleep, so our relationship with God is became to be less and less. If where we are sleeping on one knees of someone, we cannot in the middle of the sleeping to move to another knees of another person. If you are already sleeping in one knees, it means you're already sleeping there. You cannot move to another. And the one that you're sleeping on his knees, he has a control on you. And look how much control Dalida has in this moment when Samson was sleeping on her knees. She called for 2 of these people to cut all his hair, to shave all his hair. And in this hair was all the secret of the power of Samson, all the secret that he opened to her before. But the truth that not the hair was with the power. The power was in the testament between Samson and God, not in the hair. The testament of monk, of Nazir. The hair was only a symbol for the power of Samson. A lot of people thinking that in his hair was the power. The power was not in the hair exactly. It was in the testament between Samson and God, the Nazirut. And when we giving to this world all the power, we're losing all our testament with God. And then the power is going away from us. When he said to the leader the secret of the power that God gave him, he was not appreciating enough the power that God gave him and the testament with God, and he lost it in this moment. And it means that he gave her the option to take all his spirit power and the position of God, all his spiritual status. And when these two guys came to shave his hair, in this moment when they shaved the hair, all his power left with the hair. Because the testament is destroyed in this moment. My family, I want to tell you something. A lot of people that make a testament with this word, automatically the power is going out of them. Because the testament with God is destroying in this moment. Because you cannot live for two testaments. You can live only for one that you're choosing. You cannot live for both of them and to serve them together. You cannot be under the spirit of this world and under the spirit of God in the same time. They are the opposites of each other. You always gonna love one of them and hate the other one in the same time. You cannot love both of them in the same time. It's not possible. And now we can see how the things going after. We're gonna understand how serious is these things and how it's serious to give to this Dalida the spirit of this world to come in our life. Okay, we're reading number 20 to see what happened after. And she said, the Philistines are upon you, Samson. So he awoke from his sleep and said, I will go out as before at other times and shake myself free. But he didn't know that the Lord had departed from him already. Number 21. Then the Philistines took him out and put out his eyes and brought him down to Gaza. They bound him with bronze fetters and he became grinder in the person. 22. However, the hair of his head began to grow again after it had been shaved. It's so interesting how when he woke up from the sleep, he was already thinking that he has still the power of God in himself. You know how many people that already so much time before God took out his power from them, but they are still living in a lie that they are still have the power of God inside themselves. And this is the period of the lie to yourself. It's going with steps. Now we can see how the life of someone that was choosing by God and the steps how he going down and down from God because he chose to do this by himself. How he going down to the big fail because he gave to the word spirit to go inside his life. I really want to talk with you how to go to win. But to show you the stairs to the win, I want to show you the stairs how not to fail. How not to lose yourself and your things from God. How to be so careful. And today I want to say to someone, stop to play with the spirit of this world. Because it's gonna take you down in the steps. Listen, everything starts with nothing. You know why these things that I'm talking with you today, I gave to this the name as small steps to the big fail? Because everything starts with so small steps. Even if it's not a big step, but if it's already a small one, you already did this. It's already meaning big, a lot. Because before you're starting to do something bad, but in a small step, you already have this in your mind. A little idea, this idea giving you some feels. And this idea pushing you to the next step. Until the next one, until you're failing big time. These small steps that they are not serious, taking you to the big problem and big serious problem. Even Samson, before everything it started to happen, he didn't think that he's gonna be in this moment. In this moment it was so the beginning of the beginning, the small step that even he was not imagining what's gonna be in the future in few steps. And I think the biggest problem here in Samson, that he was not appreciate enough the call from God that chose him before everything. Because when we were starting to think and to understand how smart and how strong the choice of God that he did to us, we don't need to be only responsibility in this moment. We need to understand and to be so thankful for God that he chose us, and to respect God and to serve him with all the heart. So let's read again, and let's see that in the 20, when we were reading now, we saw how when he was awake again, he was thinking that God is still with him, and he was thinking, okay, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna go to do the same like I did before, and God gonna give me the power to go out of these people. And there is people that also awake from them signs and saying, okay, it's fine, I just did some signs, it's fine, I'm gonna do now again like God was giving me before, and I know that God is still with me, like Samson did. And for the spirit of this world, it's very good and comfortable to hold you like this when you are thinking that you are with God, but you are no, because you are with them. You already forgive them, and you already give up for all the things that they did to you, and you are already in them side. And it's very, very sad, because we can see so many churches now that they are already without the power of the God like before, and they are doing these things, but they are keep going ahead like they are still have God inside, and they are really believing in this, that God is still with them. So they're going ahead and lying to themselves. It's very serious, my family. So then, when we were reading 21, we saw that they took out his eyes. The person started to be blind in the spirit life. He already cannot see as before. He cannot understand the Bible, the things. He cannot see any more dreams from God, visions from God. And it's very, very scary. You know how scary is this? You think it's scary to be blind in the physical life? You don't know how scary it's to be blind in the spirit life when you were before, when you saw before. I know this because I saw this and I was living in this a long time. I was there and I felt how it's feeling like. God always was talking with me, with the dreams, with the vision, and then suddenly in one moment I lost it all, and I started to read, not to understand, to pray and not to feel like God is listening to me. So when they took out the eyes of Samson, it was not like with a process. It was in one moment they just took it out, and then he cannot see nothing anymore. And this is the next step. I very, very hope if there is someone now that feeling like he's in the same level as Samson in this story, I hope you're gonna see yourself and you're gonna go back to God. To be careful. Even if you're feeling like there is Delilah in your life, even if you just fell in love with something that you don't need to, and you're feeling like maybe it's not the way. And you need to know that it can take you to this situation as Samson. Then they tie him in the story of Samson. It means that the next step is no freedom anymore. They put him in the jail, in the person of the enemy. That's it. God is not there anymore. The power is not there anymore. The testament with God is not there anymore. It's broke. And we're talking about a person that was chosen by God as a judge of Israel and Nazir, Ammon, for God. Understand how serious is this? And the sign is growing on another son in the life of this person that's going through this. In this step, no more freedom. He is addicted. He depends on something. And he cannot go back in his power because he's already stuck. And then in the last sentence, the 21, we can see that when he was in the jail, so the people of the enemy was giving to them idol, a victim, and they was laughing on Samson. It was like a win for them. They won that the the judge of Israel now is in the person, or in the jail of them, of the enemies of Israel, and they are so happy, making a party and laughing a lot on him. Think for yourself how big party the enemy, the devil, the spirit life of the devil, the dark, doing when one person that was chosen by God and was the service of God going after him now is in the person of the devil, and he is stuck there and cannot go out. Your nose and you thinking that when person is saved by God, the angels in the sky are dancing and happy. Of course. And you know how is when someone that choosing by God, that was saved by God, going down, so fell, and going down to the devil and to the jail. They are so happy there. They was so happy that they was looking for a victim to give to the idol of them, the devil. And this is what they did. We can read here that they was making a big party and they was saying to God of them, the devil, how big you are, how strong you are that you gave us to have in our jail someone from the God of Israel, someone from his service. After they was so thankful to the devil that they won, they asked Samson to come to the place to make them feel happy and laugh on him, to shame on him. You know how many charges there are now, that they are lost all the power of God already inside, and they're just calling to people to come, to have fun, to dance, to have some fun plays and things. The spirit of this world sitting all so much now in so many churches in the world, and they laughing on them inside. In this church is gonna be already a party, but the party for the wrong God. You're gonna hear there always things that people talking, preaching, that saying everything is gonna be okay, God love you, everything is good, everything is fun, everything is cool. Never mind how your sign before God. God is already forgive you everything, and everything is already good, like always. Never mind what happened, you're gonna be with God at the end, because you already took your signs. And you are good, don't worry, you are good, everything good, let's dance, let's sing, let's worship. And that makes you feel good and fun. And it gives you the option to live in two worlds, one for God, one for this world. There is so good in the world, and here I'm still, I can be with God because I'm saved already, so it's fine to live here and there, fun. I didn't lose the save of God still, so everything is cool. And here it became to be a church so that for the devil it's so fun and he's so happy and laughing, and for God it's a big shame and fail. And Samson that was the judge of God, of Israel, a hero. He was under God, in the stomach of his God. Now he is a fail, a shame and the win of the enemies. And then the next sentence we can see that Samson was blind. So he said to one of the person that was leading him when he is blind from the enemies. So let's read this. It's Numbers 26. Then Samson said to the Lord who held him by the hand, "Let me feel the pillars which support the temple, so that I can lean on them." 27. The temple was full of men and women, all the lords of the Philistines. Were there about 3,000 men and women on the roof watching while Samson performed. So it means that everyone was looking at him, watching at him. There was 3,000 people of the Palestinian, and they was watching on him. And then what he did. 28. Then Samson called to the Lord, saying, "O Lord God, remember me, I pray. Strengthen me, I pray, just this once, O God. that I may with the blow take wardens on the Philistines from my 2 eyes. 29. And Samson took hold of the 2 middle pillars which supported the temple, and braces himself against them, one of his right on the other in his left. 30. Then Samson said, "Let me die with the Palestinians." And he pushed with all his might. And the temple fell on the Lord, and all the people who were in it so dead that he killed his death were more than he had killed on his life. It means that he killed more people than he was killing on all his life. So we can see here that all the story of Samson in the Bible that we can read, only here in this point when he was so low and down, he finally called to God to help him. Why you never called to God when the leader came to your life and just started to control you? It's really serious question, because when in our life we suddenly have something as the leader that's starting to get us out of God and to lead us out of God, we are not screaming to God in this moment. We are not asking God to help us because we are so love this. And we are so afraid that God gonna tell us to leave this because we are love this, and we're going after this because this is what we want. Is it true? We don't want to lose something that we like and love to do. So we don't ask God to help us, and we don't ask God to make us not to love this because it makes us to feel good and to love this. Samson, why you didn't call to God before? Why at the end, when you are already blind, standing in the middle of 3,000 people in so shame, only there you are screaming to God and asking for his help? I was not want to be Samson in this moment, so shame. I don't want any charge to be in this moment, in this situation. Because from this so high status to go to this shame, a shame between all the enemies. Only here he remembered God and he's saying, God, remember me. Finally, only now, he really going to God and saying that he is his God. And finally he realized that God left him already in the back and he is not with him anymore. And he's saying, God, at least now, please, help me now. Help me to show these enemies that you are strong. He was screaming to God and say to God, God, I want to show them how strong you are. So he moved the things of the temple, and God gave him the power. And he killed 3,000 people, more than he was killing all his life. And he died with his enemies. The end of all this process is a die, a death. In our situation, it can be a death of the Spirit, Holy Spirit in our life. But everything starts step by step, down and down. And the enemy became to be happy only in the last step, the death. He doesn't need to kill you physical. He doesn't want you already to sick. For him, it's already enough to kill you spirit. Because then he doesn't feeling you as a danger for him. The enemy, the devil, gonna try to go down to kill spiritual all these people that chosen by God. So my dear, I told you already 8 steps, small steps that taking you to the big fail. It's very serious. So if you're feeling like in your life there is the leader, do now things that you need to do against. Or some spirit that taking you in the wrong way, feeling like you're falling asleep and you're losing your relationship with God. So check yourself, check your life. It's taking you out of God. You know that for everything there is end. And if we will not stop in one of these steps, and we will not go with our face back to God and with the back to the devil, God could not take us back to him. And the world that the devil offers to us can be so bright and shine, and can take us eyes and us love from God to the Word. And then let's read from the 1st of John, sentence 15 to 17. Do not love the world or anything in the world. If anyone loves the world, love for the Father is not in them. Love of the Father is not in them. For everything in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of the life, comes not from the Father, but from the world. The world and its desires pass away, but whoever does the will of Father lives forever. The spirit of this world, the devil, trying to make the world so shining, so flash, so beautiful, so light, for us to spin our back to God and to look at the world and to be with our back to God. And he trying to offer us things that gonna be more shining than what God gonna offer us. And we gonna the person can be in the middle, that he gonna see how shining and how the big lie of the devil can be so beautiful and shining at the time that God making for him so good, and maybe the devil trying to do it more attractive for him. The person that even has the leader in his life, the spirit of this world, it even can be in a work. The work can be as the leader of the person that he putting all himself, all his life, all his time in this work. And the person can put also all his heart on this work. And where is your heart is where you are belong to. And if our heart is in God, so all of us belong to God, because we want to be with Him and we love Him. And if we really love God and all our heart is in God, nothing in this world gonna be enough good for us to take it more than what God offers to us and giving to us. And from the things that we were reading now from John, we can see that this word working only on the proud of the world. Did you pay attention that now everything that we see in the internet, in the promotion, is so shining and it's so trying to act attractive your eyes? And in all this promotion you can always see the big word I. A big I for me, for my family. And this is all of this working around the proud of yourself. Because all the people always were looking for something that's gonna make them to feel better, to live better, and it's true. And the enemy knows so good that this is how easy for him to take the people inside, because he knows that all the people working like this. And everything is about pride and to love yourself more than everything. And it's enough for him to bring to some people just a picture of how good his life can be. And if you're giving to this spirit of the world, Dalila, to come to your life, and you're gonna love what she offers you, at the end you're gonna be there. And here in John we're reading, don't love the world and what is inside the world. Again, he's saying don't love. In the beginning you just like it, it's good for you. But at the end you fell in love with this and you're going after this. And when you're falling in love with this, it's already hard for you to go out. Now let's open the 1st of John 5 from 4 to 5 sentence. I'm reading. For everyone born of God overcomes the world. This is the victory that has overcome the world, even our faith. 5. Who it that overcome the world? Only the one who believes that Jesus is the Son of God. So how we can win the world? With our believing, in our faith. If we are believing that God chose me, and I appreciate this and respect this, and I always believing that, and remember that not I am the one who chose God, He the one that chose me, and I always in this testament. And then the leader, the spirit of this world, has no chance to come to me. She doesn't has option to take me and to try to attractive me. But when I don't care about this position that God gave me, that I don't care that He chose me before I choose Him, and I am not appreciate this, so the enemy has a big option to do this to me, and to start to try to attack me. And if someone going inside this, inside the spirit of the enemy, he can fail big time to the big fail after a small steps. I believe that today God teaching us something new. That there is stairs that taking you up to the winner, and there is another stairs that going down to the big fail. And today I believe that so many churches and so many people living in a big fail. And they doesn't know why. Why there is no succeed. Why there is no power. Why they cannot see the Holy Spirit. Why, and why. So many why. God waiting for His people that He chose before to come back to Him now. Don't give to yourself to come to this situation that you're falling down. Don't give to Delilah to destroy you.